What is going on, campus legends? We are coming at you fresh off getting this custom schedule finalized, and we have succeeded. We are good to go. The schedule's locked in. I even went back in to double check that everything's saved. We are in the clear, knock on wood, unless it doesn't work in advance. But hey, then we get a whole new custom schedule, a whole new custom schedule. With me tonight, we got Busy, we got Van, and we got Zeph. Gentlemen, how we doing tonight?
Feeling
Let's
good.
go. So stoked. So ready.
Dude, yeah, I'll tell a little story. So doing this, I made a big old spreadsheet with tracking all the games, when people needed bye weeks. Tried to get all the home and away games right, so you didn't get hit with too many homes, not enough, chance to schedule visits, the whole ordeal. Keep in mind there was nothing I could do about any conference schedules, like those home and aways alternate, and that's all generated by the game. Some people got screwed with some busy. It might have been you with like three straight conference away games to finish or something. I don't know. There was some weird stuff in there, but I did it all in the spreadsheet, got it all done. Everyone kept saying you got to do it one at a time. I said screw it, I'm doing all 32. I got all the schedules typed in, filled out, and then I hit save, and it gave me the error, and I was like, no fucking way, like it didn't work. And then I rechecked all 32 schedules, counting all the games, making sure every team had 12 games, and I found I had one team with 11 games. Fixed it, hit save, and it worked. So we are in the clear. I was gonna make a bunch of graphics. Can you guys hear me? Quack. Oh, Quacks must have been we were muted. Um, it was I'm gonna make a bunch of graphics for this, but it's just gonna be easier just to kind of go over the games. We'll talk key matchups, key kickoff matchups, early regular season matchups, the whole thing. Um, any expectation? I mean, I'm assuming most people didn't think this was going to work, so I'm happy it did. Busy, did you put in? I mean, you can tell the people if you put in any requests for some games this year.
I put in for UCF as well as Florida, and then I put in a late request for Notre Dame, which I don't even know if that was in time to even be put on your mind or thought process. But those are the two real schools that I put in was Florida and UCF. I wanted a nice little Florida challenge.
Didn't get your. Did you do a Notre Dame from on the form?
No, I didn't. That's why I was saying like I
Oh,
threw it in. I
gotcha,
threw it in chat at
You
some point.
didn't want to do the
gotcha.
hard games the right way. He wanted to do.
Yeah,
He just wanted to say it. And then, of
we
course, he did UCF the right way.
we tried our best to get to make it work. We tried our best to get everybody kind of what they asked for. If it, some games didn't work out. Some guys wanted some computer games. It just didn't work out. Did our best. Tried to create some fun matchups. Some with some backstory. The whole thing. Zeph, what about you? You agreed to any matchups out there, or did you put any down that you wanted to see that you wanted to be
Um,
misunderstood?
yeah, the one I submitted was with bracket. So I was hoping that I would at least get that one. I sent a message to like uh Tech. I think he's Texas State, Aries or whatever. No, that's not Texas State. That's
North Texas,
North
North
yep.
Texas,
Texas.
right? Yep. But he responded a little bit late, so I didn't even submit one for that. So I was gonna be, I'm happy if I just get one game. Really, to be honest, I
Yep.
mean, I know the result now, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I tried to give everybody some usernames, even if you didn't ask for them. Tried to find either a level playing field with another team. The whole thing. So, Van, anything you wanted to add? I know you and Boone have been pretty vocal. Well, Boone's been pretty vocal about wanting to play you. So maybe we'll see JMU on your
Yeah.
schedule.
Well, I'm feeling like that guy in the UFC who's in like the top five, and he's got that new guy coming, and he's like, I don't know if I should fight that guy, man. I don't know because I have everything to lose. I looked at his roster on his show tonight, and hats off to him. That was a great show. That's great
Yeah,
content. But I was like,
it's a
man,
horrible
there is
roster.
no way. There's no way I can lose this roster. And he's come to the swamp. I am a little bit nervous. I can't say, but yeah, I'm gonna kick his teeth in.
Jesus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. All right, let's get into this then, shall we? Oh, look at everybody in chat. The whole NWC is in here. You got Pride, you got Nairi, you got King of the Beast, Dr. Dark's in there, Quax is in there. I think he's in vacation. Bracket was in there earlier. Shout out Guac. Look at that. 13 straight months being subscribed. Hell yeah. All right, let's get into it. First matchup. We're gonna go week 0. Um, I told everyone they'd have a week 0 game. I lied. Didn't work out that way. Coincidentally, when you're trying to fit 3 bye weeks in and there's a conference schedule, it is very, very, very hard to give people week 0 games and not do double bye weeks. So we really tried to, we tried to make it work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 users do not have a week 0 game, and I apologize. It is going to be Big Smitty, Dr. Dark, Ebanks, Ilio, Heath, Quacks, and Riot. It just didn't work out this time around. Dr. Dark got week 0 last year, so he can wait 1 extra week this time around. Let's get into some of these big time matchups. First off, we got I know the Dr. Dark. It's a devastating one because it's one of those things that you're fresh off recruiting, you don't want to play, but hang tight. All right, first matchup I want to throw out there. We saw it last season. Well, we were supposed to see it last season, but we didn't get to see it last season. We had something come up. It ended up being a force win in week 1. So we are throwing it back, running it back, and it is going to be the West Virginia Mountaineers traveling to Penn State to take on VBD and the Nittany Lions. So you're going to have Tosh versus VBD week 0, kicking off the season at Happy Valley. So Tosh, your reward for having an incredible season with a horrible roster is you get to kick off with all those new players at Happy Valley. Thoughts on that one? Do we like it? I think it's
Love it.
Historic.
It's almost a must. Yeah, it's almost a must.
Historic rivalry. Let's get into another one. Busy mentioned it just before we started here. We are going to see the Miami Hurricanes on the road week 0, traveling in-state to Central Florida, and it'll be Busy against JMO week 1 or week 0. So we're going to see an in-state rivalry, kicking it right off with a bang. See who owns Florida, since Florida was a little scared to participate in the actual matchup. So,
it's a little bit of a wow. Yeah, I don't know about that.
let's throw another.
Don't know
one.
about what.
Go ahead.
Don't know about what, man, because you clearly was like, I want no part of it.
Hey, both
have receipts.
Both JMO.
I'm all about variety, and I already played you.
Both JMO,
okay.
Both JMO and Busy's submissions both said the same thing, so I know Van.
Hey, and you know who I ended up with?
Bracket.
Clint
Bracket too.
I play him every year.
All right, let's
go. Welded into the schedule.
Let's keep it rolling here. We got 2 matchups with big dog teams against little dog teams. One was asked for, one was not. So I apologize to either who was not, but it seemed like a cool storyline. We are going to see the North Texas, is it Mean Green? Mean Green of North Texas? Travel in-state to the University of Texas, and we'll see Aries against Air V in week 0. Coincidentally, the one user who did ask for this matchup, and he wanted it at the Horseshoe, he wanted to take on the Buckeyes in Ohio. The Texas State Bobcats and Iraq, or Side Effect, are headed to play NWS week 0 at Ohio State. So we're going to see a big matchup there. Iraq getting to go home to Ohio. NWS coming off.
What's the spread on that one?
Probably 47.5.
Yeah. 9 touchdowns.
Yeah. Another big one to kick off the season. We are going to be heading out to Autzen in Eugene, Oregon, and we are going to see the Notre Dame Fighting Irish take on the Oregon Ducks week 1. So
there we go. That's a good one.
Well, Nick versus Drew. Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. And then next year we'll swap, and I'll go out there and play South Bend. A couple more just to throw some out there. We are going to see the JMU Dukes travel to the Swamp week 0 and take on the Florida Gators. So Boone gets his wish. He wants to go out there and pull the big upset off. And Van's gonna have to Van. I'm just gonna throw out there: if you lose to Boone with that roster, he will never let you forget it. So do your best to make it happen.
Can I just be honest? Can
Yeah,
I just be honest? I don't, I don't do well with pressure. That's why I didn't want to play busy
that's
again. After the freaking kick return bowl,
yeah.
I didn't, I wasn't sure. Now, I have everything to lose, and I don't think I play my best in that. But yeah, okay, let's go to the swamp.
We
Let's see
got
how it goes.
we got a couple other fun matchups this week. You're gonna see FSU and Kansas is gonna be played in Tallahassee.
Let's
You're gonna
go
see a
because
little
we
yeah.
bracket plays on week 0
Yeah.
player.
Well, oh yeah, week 0. Sorry, yeah. Little admin matchup there. You're gonna see they agreed to this one. It's gonna be Chad and the Scarlet Knights traveling to Temple to take on the Owls, which is gonna be a fun one there. They battle for a lot of the same recruits, so that's a pretty cool matchup. You're gonna see the Ole Miss Rebels head out to Maryland and take on Guac. So you'll see Tide Pod Guac in week 0. You're going to see Kells and the Memphis Tigers head out to the old blue Smurf turf and take on Nairi and Boise State. What else we got? We got a little matchup in Minnesota with the San Diego State Aztecs against the Minnesota Gophers. That's going to be a fun matchup with Rob and KOTV. You get last but not least, we get to see. I think this will be a fun matchup. I think it'll be a fun matchup of similar users, and I think we're going to see the Air Force Falcons travel to East Lansing and take on the Michigan State Spartans. So we'll get a little Sparty versus Pride matchup there in week 0 as well.
So you got like a Sparty versus Sparty.
Yeah. Well, Sparty versus Syracuse, but neither. Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. We got a lot of user games packed.
No, but I mean Michigan State's mascot, right? Isn't it Sparty?
Well, that's his name.
I guess.
Yeah.
Terrible joke.
Sparty's the Spartans.
Yeah.
So Zeph, catch
Oh,
He was trying to let you get away with that one, dude. He was trying to let you walk, and then you called him. You called him back on it.
And I will I'll post this graphic once we're done here. Week 2 or week 1 now. Week 1, you're going to see. Where's our big matchup? That's not a big matchup. You know what? Let's go and start. This is our game. This is our week with the fewest games. Week 1 is a very popular bye week. We have a lot of users on bye. We are going to see Kansas host the JMU Dukes. So Zeth and Boone will be playing in week 2 or week 1. Sorry.
Fresh off a big win from the Gators.
Boone and our Suntan. Sorry, Suntan's got 2 road games to start. One against Florida, one against Kansas. We'll see. We didn't do him any favors there. But he said he wanted it tough. So, this is interesting because no, never mind. I don't have the conference matchups on here, but we do have some users conference matchups. Busy has a conference matchup. Ebanks has a conference matchup. JMO has a conference matchup. NWS has a conference matchup. I don't have the names in front of me on the sheet. You'll understand in a second. We do have Aries and Iraq or Side Effect taking on each other. Texas State against North Texas. So a little in-state showdown there. We're going to get Big Smitty against Heath with Oklahoma, North Carolina in week 1. We are going to get the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets traveling to South Bend and taking on Notre Dame. So Notre Dame is going to, or no, it is at Georgia Tech. Drew starts with 2 away games, so that is at Georgia Tech. It's going to be a very fun matchup there. We get Heath against Ilio, or not Heath. Heath's old team. Never mind. Ilio is going to have a computer game with Virginia Tech. Heath has got Oklahoma. That's right. We got another matchup with the San Diego State Aztecs. He'll be traveling out to California to play the Cal Golden Bears and Quacks. Riot gets computer Georgia State. Rob gets a computer Eastern Michigan. And that's it for week 1, really. After the rest, like I said, we got some conference games. Van's on a bye. I'm on a bye. Week 2. A lot of people back at it. We get a really fun showdown. Texas at Ohio State. So Air V against NWS. They asked for this matchup and they got it. So that's going to be a fun one. We get the Rutgers Scarlet Knights hosting the Georgia Bulldogs. So Georgia will be traveling out to old New Jersey there. We get a matchup between this game might be over in 15 minutes, but we're gonna have Air Force versus Georgia Tech in week 2. There might be a couple of throws in that game. It's gonna be a whole lot of running of the football. Fun matchup. We get Florida traveling to Maryland to take on the Terrapins and Coach Guac. We get Nairi Nairi headed out to play Southern Florida. We get John Baugh and his Temple Owls headed out to Happy Valley to take on VBD and Penn State. We get a Memphis versus Michigan State matchup. We have the Civil War, Oregon State. I'll get to play my little rivalry game there. Did I forget? Oh, Cal. The big one is going to be Cal Notre Dame. Hold on. Did I ever say that already? No. Oh yeah,
No.
Cal Notre Dame this week. So that's gonna be a fun one. Two teams. I think they're in the preseason top 8-ish there. Yeah, that's week 2. Dr. Dark. The week 0 throws everything off for me. Memphis, Michigan State. We got Ole Miss. The last one here is Ole Miss against West Virginia. So that'll be Tosh headed out to Mississippi to take on Ole Miss.
That'd be a good
one. Yeah, that'll be a good one. And then VBD, like I said, Penn State against Temple. It's a good one as well. All right, let's get into. We only have a couple more weeks to really count on because a lot of them after this are all conference games. Week 3, we got a showdown. It wasn't asked for, but it's getting thrown on there because it worked out with the schedule. But Texas is headed to Miami to take on the Miami Hurricanes. Basically got a matchup with the Longhorns. We get another fun one here, a little rematch action. We're going to get Cal, or you know what? Oh, this is the showdown week. Sorry. We already know this week. This is the Big Ten ACC showdown, or ACC SEC showdown. Yeah, so we got those matchups, which is the ones I just mentioned. Other than that, we got JMU hosting the Colorado Buffaloes. So we get the Coach Prime against the wannabe Coach Prime and Coach Boone. We get Ole Miss against Georgia Tech is a showdown. Oh, here's one. San Diego State and UCLA will be throwing down in week 3.
That's a good matchup.
Yeah, North Carolina, South Carolina, part of the showdown. We get JMO. He wanted his rivalry with Southern Florida, so UCF versus USF. We get Minnesota against Memphis, so Kels and Rob will get to go to battle there. That is not racist, Boone. You're the one that wants to act like Coach Prime. Hold on. We get Tennessee, Cal. We already talked about Florida State, Georgia. That's part of it. IREC is Texas State. He'll be taking on University of San Antonio, University of Texas San Antonio. Here's one that's not part of any of the matchups, but we are going to get the Michigan State Spartans headed to Lawrence, Kansas to take on the Kansas Jayhawks.
So yes, let's go. I was foreshadowing. I was going to fuck that party up one way.
Yeah, you kick off the season at Florida State, home against James Madison, bye week, home against Michigan State. So should be a fun one. Tosh plays a CPU Pittsburgh, and Georgia Tech that's part of the battle. Georgia Tech, Ole Miss. So some fun user matchups. This next week is probably the second most popular bye week. Big matchups. Not a whole. One big matchup. 2 big matchups. The biggest matchup this week will be Penn State Notre Dame. Drew and VBD agreed, so they're going to throw down there. It's going to be at Notre Dame, out in South Bend. We get Illio, South Carolina against Coastal Carolina. You're going to get North Carolina against Oregon. So Oregon's going to head out to North Carolina. It'll be me versus Heath. We get Boise State versus North Texas. Ohio State is going to travel on the road and play the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns. This is week 4, Illio. Pride has his matchup with Army. And Van, you're going to play. Oh, this is the interesting part. So one game for the ACC SEC Challenge didn't work, so Van versus Clemson will be the following week in week 4, which maybe it determines the whole showdown, but it was the only thing that couldn't work there. And last, oh yeah, yep, here we go. Okay, we're getting. I'm just
the rough.
Yeah, I'm gonna open this up in a second. But last week here, couple of big matchups. Here we're going to see, to make the schedule work, I had to move Florida and Florida State around. So Florida State is going to be week 5. We are also going to see Miami take on Oklahoma. So Busy's going to get to play both parts of the Red River rivalry. And it wasn't a shot at Busy. It was just trying to make everything work and find games and make it all work. And it ended up working out pretty well. I think we're going to see some fun matchups. Tide Pod plays Southern Miss. Quacks has a Purdue game.
Well, that'll be a good year.
Notre Dame against Maryland here. So Maryland will have to head out to South Bend and play. And Boone plays Liberty because he wanted Alabama, but Alabama wasn't open that week, so he's got Liberty instead.
Who's taking swings at
he's trying, and I had to bring him down. You can't start a fullback or running back and win. Let me think. Any
Dude,
other,
look at he's 40 overall. He's overall running back.
It's not great.
Yeah.
We're going to jump all the way. Week 14, last week of the season, before the Army-Navy game, we do have Georgia Tech. We're going to see Notre Dame against Stanford. We're going to see South Carolina against Clemson. Those are the only games, only non-conference games that week. The rest will all be conference games. Non-conference games in week 13, we're traveling backwards. Drew against Pittsburgh. Non-conference games in week 12, you're going to see Air V take on Marshall. So Texas against Marshall. You'll see Brat play Toledo, and that it's that little SEC just has some easy wins out there. Week 11, much of the same. You see Drew against Kent State. You see Ebanks against New Mexico. Week 10, we get to see the Rutgers Scarlet Knights against IREC and the Texas State Bobcats. We'll see Drew against NC State. Drew against Navy in week 9. All conference matchups. Week 8, Drew plays USC, and Ebanks and UCLA will play UCF, play JMO and the Knights there. Week 7. Bracket. This is just his little empty week. We threw UMass on his schedule because the games get pretty slim as you get further into the year. We're also going to see Temple against Boise in week 7, so we'll get to see John Paul against Nairi, which I think will be a fun one. Week 6, Drew has at Michigan, plays the Big House. Pride gets to host Navy. And then that's pretty much it. Let me go ahead and share this now. I'm going to pull this up. Just if you want to look over, we can kind of talk about what anyone might think. But this is how I did which I don't have the conference games on here, but this is how I did all this shit. You can see the little spreadsheet here where I had all the teams, all the weeks. We threw the bye weeks in there. I do want to point out 2 things, and I apologize, but it was the only way to make this work. Guac and Aries have back-to-back bye weeks. So Aries is going to have a bye week 2 and week 3. Guac's going to have bye in where's Guac? Guac's going to have week 3 and week 4. I apologize. I know it's not fun to have to sit there for two full advances only recruiting. But if you look, you would play the rest of the way without bye weeks. So you'll play Guac, you'll play week 5 through 14 without a bye week. Aries, you'll play week 4 through 14 without a bye week. So, just deal with it. Okay, early thoughts. What matchups do we like? What Busy, you go first.
First off, this spreadsheet that you used is intoxicating.
Yeah. Red means conference game.
That's what I picked up when I saw all that red.
Yeah.
Wait, you said that Georgia Tech plays Ole Miss, right?
Georgia Tech plays Ole Miss, part of the showdown. Yes.
Yeah. Yep. that of the SEC ACC challenge.
Yeah,
that's the matchup I'm looking forward to viewing. Like I think that game could be great because Dark really controls the clock when he gets it going. And Ty Power, I think as he has a better team, but he gets a little predictable sometimes. So if Dark can figure it out, I think that'll be a really close game.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun. It's a good matchup against users that we haven't seen play each other a lot in Madden, or in college football. So I think that'll be a cool. It's always cool to see those matchups. Boone's going off in the chat right now, man. You better not lose, brother. Van, fall asleep.
Yeah, I'm just not like he was talking about gator jerky today. I didn't even know gator jerky was a thing.
He's learning you shit, bro.
What do you like on the schedule, man?
Not only is he talking shit, he's educating me.
He said, "Have you seen my team?" Yeah, he's gonna keep downplaying. He's gonna keep saying how bad his team is because he wants if he does beat you, he wants everybody to know it was with the.
All he's gonna do, he's gonna run a whole bunch of plays, 5 yards, behind the line of scrimmage. He's gonna run his quarterback on the the options. That's dude, and I'm gonna kill him, especially because he's got to play wide receiver and quarterback at the same time. I can't wait to see that.
I'm gonna kill him, he said.
I hope you do kill him because I've got him week 2, bro.
Dude, you know what? He's got one guy in his roster. He's good. He's got one guy in his roster.
By week 2, I mean week 1, yeah.
Yeah, the week 0 really throws me off, especially because most teams don't play, but I was trying to get all of us to have games. Seth, what about you? What do you like about the schedule? Any big matchups you see that you think is fun?
Oh man, I'm ecstatic. You did such an amazing job, man. There's so many games on here that I'm excited for that I didn't even know. You kept it pretty, hidden. Like I didn't know what to expect from this. So this is really awesome. Just number one, all the SEC, ACC, the competition they have going on. Yep. That's super exciting. Now we know about it, but I mean, we you always know the opponents, but you don't know what week they're playing, right? Yep. We didn't know the opponents either for a lot of the part, but yeah, dude, I'm really excited for that. So week 5, week 4, week 3, even fuck, week 0 is fucking me up again.
Yep.
But whatever, you know what I mean. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to see what the outcome of that is because that's pretty exciting. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like the ability to do this where we get to we like VVD and Tosh didn't get to play last year, so we can recreate that matchup in week 0 this time around. I think Sparty versus Pride will be a fun one to kick off the season. 2 users that didn't really ask for a game, but I thought, both have this open. This could be a cool matchup. Yeah, I think me and Drew will be fun kicking off the season too.
Dude, that's a great game, man. That's underrated. We didn't really talk about that. I think that matchup's going to be awesome. Is it in Oregon or is it in?
Yeah, this one's in Oregon because I was trying to make it all work out with. But again, when you do a home and home, the following years it flips anyway, so it'll be in South Bend next year. But yeah, so that'll be fun. Yeah, it was tricky trying to find cool matchups, big time matchups, especially if it made sense on the schedule. And that's kind of how it ended up with Miami busy having to play Texas and Oklahoma. But I think those will be interesting matchups. Big time colleges getting to go at it that we don't see often. I think the Tennessee versus Cal rematch from the college football playoff is going to be a fun one. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. I think we can keep, building off this. I really appreciate everybody who took part in, sending games in they wanted, agreeing to home and homes with teams, the whole thing there. If I pull up,
dude, we appreciate you. Look at the spreadsheet.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I know me personally, I submitted one game. So the fact that you came up with all these games, I was just expecting, maybe a team to, a couple of teams to play each other or whatever. But yeah, I mean, opponents that I wasn't expecting at all. It's Soup makes it super exciting.
Yeah, it was fun. You know, the way it all came together. I'm gonna try to pull. You know, all these responses came in from users throughout the year, which is really cool. So I could get an idea of who wanted to play who. Some people put multiple teams. You know, some of it worked out, some of it didn't. But for the most part, I think almost everybody got their games in. A couple things that didn't go through or didn't make it in the time, or if I already had stuff, you know, stuff kind of figured out or planned out, then I couldn't put it on the schedule. But there's always next year. That's the good part about it. So wanted to get this little schedule review out there in the next coming couple of seasons. We're gonna try to build off this, create more fun matchups, and then graphics. The big thing I wanted really cool graphics with this show, but it was more important to just get it over and get it done with and get it out. So then tomorrow we can advance as we kind of go, or sorry, we can advance in the middle of the day probably tomorrow. So I'm thinking I want to give one announcement tomorrow morning to make sure people get the last bit of their hours used up, and then we'll get an advance going probably hopefully early afternoon. Um, but yeah, any thoughts? Anyone busy? You got Dramo week 1. That's a fun one there. Maybe some in-state recruit battles. I think.
Yeah, I really wanted that matchup. Mainly, I owe him for stealing 2 5-stars from me
Yeah, you do.
last season. So yeah, I'm gonna get him on the field. That's the game plan.
Yeah, I think it should be
Jesus
fun.
Christ, that's intimidating.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, I'll get
that
him.
sounded
I'm
like
gonna get his ass on the field.
that sounded like a UFC weigh-in.
Yeah, we
Patiently
got.
waiting.
What did South Bend directly to Tennessee is rough. Is that what Quacks has over there? Yep. You're traveling east over there, Cal. But you get to host your little San Diego State Aztecs out there. Then you go on the road for 2 tough games. Um, yeah, I'm excited. I think this will be cool. I'm happy it worked. Any final thoughts before we close up shop here?
Yeah, I think
your-
Brad
man.
got away with one.
Thank
I don't, I know the schedule making is tough, but
What
he
happened?
has one Brad. He has one user game outside
Dude.
of his conference schedule.
My dumb self. I thought I finished, and Brap was the last. There was like 3 teams left. And I had Brap against Smitty week 1, and I was like, oh, that'll be a fun matchup. You know, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and my dumb self scheduled two SEC teams against each other. I didn't even think about it. So he was supposed to play another user, but then at that point the entire schedule was done except for Brap and Smitty, and so I threw a bye week on Smitty, and I think I threw a computer team on his Virginia Tech or somebody, but yeah, or Tulsa because he's Oklahoma bound.
What are Brap's tough games then? Let's go look down at that.
Inside he plays in the conference.
It's kind. I mean, SEC teams ain't easy, but
yeah, no, you're spot on because that was the one thing I noticed too. I was like, dang, he got away. So it's up to Quacks. Quacks has got to make it happen for us.
no pressure, sir.
Yep.
And the Rockets might kick him. The Rockets might kick him in the junk in week 12.
Let's see. He better. Wait a second.
That's a good pickup, Izzy. That's a good. I didn't even notice that. That's a good flag. Colorado lost everybody. Colorado has no one now.
I know Colorado's not great. He's got to play. So he plays Colorado, number 17 Colorado, number 18 Kentucky, number 5 Cal, TCU, Mississippi State, unranked Florida Gators, number 3 Alabama, unranked Georgia, unranked Oklahoma, number 20 Arkansas, Toledo, and then Vandy to finish it off. That's his schedule. So
he plays me.
Yeah, you and Brap, yeah, inside the conference.
Oh yeah, I can't see it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's okay.
Busy. Well, you got you guys on the show. Let's go over your schedule. It's the full one. Busy's got UCF, Syracuse, a bye week, Texas, a bye week, Oklahoma, Tulane, NC State, Stanford, Florida State in week 9, Louisville, a bye week in week 11. Finish up with at Pittsburgh, at Virginia Tech, at SMU. The only thing that could really screw you on is recruiting. Scheduling visits late in the season, you're gonna have to get yours all scheduled.
I'm not. I have absolutely no complaints about
Yeah,
having the final 3 weeks on the road
dude.
because ideally, like I would have closed my major targets
Yep.
before I get to week 11,
Yeah,
12,
yeah.
13. So that's not even an issue. When you said it earlier, I was like, man, that's not a problem. So no
Yep.
issues there.
No, I think
And I
we're-
avoid
yeah.
Clemson. So
Would you mind letting me know who I play in the conference, Nick, after Florida State?
Oh yeah, you go. So JMU bye week, Maryland bye week, Clemson, Florida State, Tennessee, Mississippi State, Texas, Texas A&M, Georgia, LSU, Ole Miss, Kentucky. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 user games. Less user games than last year for you.
I'm fine with that. I think that's all right.
And then Zeth,
Dude,
you play Florida State, James Madison, bye week, Michigan State, bye week, Utah, bye week, Arizona, Oklahoma State, Iowa State, West Virginia, Cincinnati, Kansas State, UCF, Texas Tech.
oh, so I got Tasha.
You do have Tosh. Boone comment on Nairi's schedule. Nairi's schedule, Nairi has 5 user games though. He has Memphis, North Texas, San Diego State, Temple, and Air Force. He gets to play everyone in his conference, so that'll be a fun one there. Who else?
Has anybody on this call, changed playbooks?
Ooh,
Oh, I'm definitely going to.
there's pretty much.
So
I think we've only, from what
Yeah.
I've heard, only 2 users so far are keeping the same book from last year.
that's a wild number.
Yeah, so that from what I've heard, and I've probably heard from 20, 22 people, maybe 20 people.
Yeah. Now, I'm happy to say that I am not one of those 2 people. So
I switched.
Busy, I watched your game. Busy, I watched your games and I watched your old playbook because I thought you were running it well, and that's why when I guessed it was Bama, and so you're changing your offensive playbook then?
yep. We're gonna leave that Bama offense. It's got some things that are pretty unique, but then it's pretty limited at the same time. I noticed when I was getting into tough games or tough moments, I find myself going back to like looking at the same 5 plays, which when I played Tosh, he was like, nah, sir, no, sir, none of this is gonna work.
No, that's super interesting because I watched a lot of your games, and there was that one bunch formation that you used where it had a nice kind of a fade to the outside on the left or right wide receiver, and then the slot. You know that one?
Yeah.
I
was watching the
and I
Minnesota
noticed that
game.
you would go back to that. You would go back to not the play, but back to that formation. When you were in tense times. And then I went and looked at the Bama playbook because I did like those plays, but the rest of it looked ass to me.
Yeah, they had some stuff that really stood out and was good, but then like against the computer is fine. You can just, I have like 33 jet sweeps. Call one, make a play. It doesn't work. Doesn't work against users. That's
Against
how I
teams,
call it else.
Against good teams, though, that defensive end smokes in the backfield on those.
Dude, that's the trickiest part though, is finding a book that will work against computers and against users. Because it's not
It's not easy.
it's not the same. Flash the books, Nick. Spoiler. I'm still deciding between my 3. I liked my Marshall book this year though. That air raid was nice. I just wish I didn't use it when I had the left-handed quarterback that had 88 throw power and it was slow.
Very un-Nick like.
I can't wait. I'm so excited to get rid of the lefty, dude. It is
I
so
bet.
better.
So, but tell there's still listeners because we got everybody listening. What are you thinking about playbooks?
What am I thinking about mine or about all of them in general?
Are you changing or what? Yeah, you said you had Marshall.
I'm changing for sure. I haven't decided which one yet, and I will release it when I post the graphic. But no one else has picked either of my books so far. So it's I think it's really cool that people are instead of just looking and finding what other people did last year, they're finding a new book completely. I've seen some crazy schools out there, man. It's funny. Some of the little schools and stuff. Dark
So Nick,
Side.
before we do anything else here, trending on Twitter is hashtag Cupcake Schedule. I guess there's uproar over perhaps cupcake schedule this year. And then in addition, what do you think the most difficult schedule is? By looking at it quickly, I was thinking Cal has a pretty tough schedule.
Cal does. So me and Cal were supposed to play this year. He was supposed to be instead of me and Quacks were supposed to play this year. But then with him, he's on vacation, and then I'm on vacation. It was like we just pushed our home and home till season 3 and season 4. Cal's is pretty tough. Drew plays me, Dr. Dart, Cal or Quacks, VBD, Guac, and a Michigan computer and a USC computer. That's a pretty tough one. He had to kind of almost custom build his own schedule. With that, Busy probably got two of the harder non-conference games with Texas and Oklahoma. Those were, especially because his other conference games against, or other non-conference games already against UCF and other user. But that's why we threw Tulane on there, give him a little break.
So would you say you think perhaps the
easiest
favorite to repeat? We're gonna have a repeat.
I think Brad could easily run through his conference schedule, or he'll make the playoff. But once you get in the playoff, man, who you played throughout the year doesn't matter. That's what it really comes down to. So,
he's got so much momentum.
Does he still have Pierce left, right?
His recruiting class was so Brad.
A lot of D tackles on that board. His team's pretty nasty. If you go look at of course on this screen you can't go to. Oh yeah, you can view all players. I wanted to pull up his D end. Yeah. The new James Pierce. Jordan Ross. Yep. 84 speed, 94 Excel. Ready to go. Purple quick jump.
Purple quick jump is so good. And then the offensive linemen are like bronze, strong grip. Fuck.
Let's see. Not even ready to play. I saw the cupcakes. Ilio, your schedule's kind of cupcakey too, bro. You got to play Virginia Tech, Heath, and Coastal Carolina. So let's stop throwing the shade at Brad.
Shots fired. Not only did he say you're a cupcake ass schedule, but then he calls you Elio because he ain't talking to your face, man.
Oh no, it's gonna be a fun year. I'm excited. Thank you guys for hopping in, though. I appreciate it. It was a last minute show. I hit up the 4 people I figured would hop in the show, and Boone didn't respond, so he was the 5th one that would have a shot, and we're off and running now.
Yeah, appreciate you having us, man. Your hard work, truly appreciate it.
Yeah, Nick, thank you very much for everything. Honestly, thank you very, very much.
Hey, I'm just happy it worked, fellas. It's all worth it when it works out, But yeah, I'll get this graphic posted. Everyone will get an idea of where they're playing their non-conference games at, and we'll know the rest tomorrow. So thank you, fellas. 14 of you that all listened or all popped to hear the show. We had a bunch of people. So I'll get this posted to YouTube so people can watch it back. And with that being said, we will be advancing to week 0 tomorrow. Get the last little bit of your recruiting boards filled up. Get those DM. Well, I guess you can't even DM people yet. Offer those scholarships and get those scouts. But yep, we are out of here. Everyone have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Later.